When it comes to inspecting rooms, offices, and locations, the ability to accomplish tasks in a faster manner can be a big boost for any company. Fresh off a second straight win at the ISSA Innovation Awards, Cleantelligence Software offers a way to cut down on wasted time. Cleantelligence's latest award-winning creation, Mobile Surveys, makes it easy to get things done in a short period of time. Anyone, even visitors, can scan a QR code with their mobile device, then use that survey to submit requests to the building service contractor or facility manager. The process is quick, so the janitorial staff can respond to the request right away. These rapid responses allow management to not only keep their clients happy because communication is enhanced, but it also increases the productivity of each employee. In turn, the increased productivity of each employee makes for a better, more efficient organization by allowing them to accomplish important tasks while out in the field. Scott Peterson of World Cleaning Services Company agrees. He says it's been very helpful to be able to rely on Cleantelligence mobile app while going to a building as opposed to having to communicate through email. It's also much easier to attach pictures while doing an inspection or work order. Kickstart your push for increased productivity by taking advantage of Mobile Surveys by Cleantelligence. Contact us at 801-375-0375 or visit us at www.cleantelligent.com for more information on how you can increase productivity and cut down on wasted time. Welcome to Try Podcast, episode 340. It's Monday, January 20th, and Dick Olick asks, what are your employees saying? When a customer asks for something special, is the answer, it's not in the contract, or let me see what I can do to help? Dick has some tips and suggestions to make sure your employees are saying what you want them to be saying. Let's listen in.
I want to talk with you today a little bit about communication training for cleaning techs and supervisors. How much training do you give cleaning techs in your organization? And particularly, how much communication training do you give them on communicating with your customers? And I wrote down a couple of things here that I've heard cleaning techs say. Unfortunately, some of them in my own company in years past, some of them that I picked up in observing other companies, but here's a couple of them. Customer asked you, one of your techs, about vacuuming. I noticed there's really some messy areas over in there. We had a bunch of punching going on today, and so there'll be a lot of the little holes laying on the floor. So be sure and do a good job of vacuuming. And the response was, well, my vacuum cleaner is down. And I don't know what they do up there at the office, but, it's been down for days now. And they just don't give me enough time either to do the job. So, my vacuum cleaner is broke, and plus the fact I don't have enough time to do the job. How do you respond to that? Is that the way you would like your cleaning techs to communicate with your customer? Probably not. But what have you done to make sure that they know what to say to your customer? Or another one, and this one always irritated me to no end, and I heard this one from my own people sometimes. They ask you to do something, you say, oh, well, that's not in the contract, or we don't do that. When they ask you for a special task that maybe the customer is even willing to pay for, they just want it done. And your answer is, that's not in the specs, or we don't do that. There was a great political phrase out here in about 2008. You remember what it was? Yes, we can. Remember that? Our president talked about everything was, yes, we can. Yes, we can. And we need to get more and more into that with our companies. Yes, we can do that. And even if you don't want your cleaning tech saying that we do that, say, that's a great idea, Mr. Prospect. Let me follow up on that. I will talk with my supervisor and ask them if we can handle that and how we can handle that, and that kind of a thing. I mean, they don't say that kind of a thing, but they will. You teach them how to say that. thank you for asking us if we can do that. Let me follow up with my supervisor on that, and we'll get back with you. And so that, because we appreciate your business, and if there's any way we can do that, I'm sure that we will make every effort to do it. And that's a little different than we don't do that, or it's not in the contract. One that I heard, and fortunately I didn't hear this in my own company, but I did hear it. They said this person said, they don't pay me enough to do a more thorough job. Reminds me a few years ago when, some of you may remember Charles Barkley played basketball, professional basketball player. Of course, he's all over the airways now as an analyst, but I remember one year he was playing for the Phoenix Suns, and I happened to be living in Phoenix at the time, and they were doing a local interview, and they asked him about the Phoenix Suns defense, because even though the Suns were scoring 105, 110 points a game, they were giving up 115. And he says, they don't pay me to play defense. I never forgot that. Charles, you're making $12 million a year, and they don't pay you to play defense? I thought this game was played on both ends of the court. Now, I obviously didn't say that to Charles. He's a lot bigger than me. But the point is, we have those kinds of things said in our own companies, don't we? They don't pay me enough to do that. I don't get paid for that. I don't get paid to think around here. I just get paid to do things. Well, all of these phrases have been used, and my question, of course, and the reason for this podcast is, have you trained your people in what to say and how to say it? Haven't you? Maybe you think you ought to start? I think it would be valuable learning, valuable lessons for you. Or even retraining those that you have told and you have explained and you have trained on how to do things. It could just save you an account if somebody's asking. Because if they're going to ask them to do something and you say it's not in the contract, or your people think it isn't in the contract, or your people think you don't do it, then they're going to go get somebody else, and that gives another contractor, another person, an opportunity to walk in the door, and I don't want that. I want to surround that customer with all the things that we can possibly do for them. Train your people on how to talk with your customer. It might just save you an account. Thanks for watching us today.
You've been listening to a Tripodcast, short video and audio presentation about important topics in our industry. If you're a current subscriber to the Tripodcast, thank you. We appreciate it. If you're not yet a subscriber, please check it out. It's free and it's easy. Come to www.tripodcast.com, enter your email address on the right-hand column, and click subscribe. We'll send you out a new Tripodcast every Monday morning.